Happy Black Friday weekend, beer lovers. It's James Wolverton. Studying to be Cicerone is coming. It's like winter's coming. It's like almost just about 2 months now. But happy Black Friday weekend, which is beer release weekend. And think about it, 2 years ago, we stood in line for Goose Island. Actually, no, we didn't. We got this last year when we stood in line. That was the first one. And then we did... No, it had to be 2 years ago now I think about it. Anyway, beer releases come out on Black Friday now. For it pretty much started with this one because Goose Island's Bourbon County Barrel Aged Stout was the first wide brand, considered the first of the barrel aged stouts. They always release in November, then it became tradition for Black Friday because people were standing in line for things, so why not? It's now since morphed that we actually stood in line at a local brewery, West 6, because we did that a few years back for their barrel aged stout, which is Snake Cake. Also Ethereal, which is another local one, has their Baba Yaga, which is supposed to be a really fun release. It's huge with the beer aficionados. This is a much nicer way to say than geek, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Yeah, the beer aficionados. They actually do a bottle share before, some breakfast, and then stay in line. So it's a lot of fun. We thought about doing it this year, but ended up going to West 6 because it's kind of our tradition. Didn't even stand in line for this. Which begs the question, let's go ahead and open this and pour it a little bit. Oh, West 6 glass even. Pour one for the director and pour one for me. Now, they've been doing this since the 90s, and I know we've talked about them in the past.
The 90s?
Yeah, I have the one upstairs that I got at their... the story is they got a couple barrels from Jim Beam in the mid-90s, but they've actually really been releasing less than that, but they've been playing with it. Oh, that smells so good. This is actually last year's release because we got 2 of those, so I went ahead and opened one a little early. These tend to be odd. They are not, they're like Christmas presents for years going forward. You just age them. So get 2 if you want to have one that year because they taste better as years go on. Which leads me to my other kind of weird point in a roundabout way. The line at West 6 wasn't huge. I heard the line at Ethereal was big, but not huge. I'm just kind of curious if there are too many releases now and too many choices, because I had a chance to get the, I think it was the Elijah Craig double-barreled Goose Island, because not only do they have their signature, then they usually have 3 or 4 different variations on their signature. They then do special barrels. And the special barrels have gotten too much, way too much on their pricing. If it was, I think it was $40, $40 just to buy that regular retail. And of course, people do sell it again. Mouth was dry. Oh, good stuff. And it just kind of, why would I do that? I mean, it's great, and I love Elijah Craig. They had a Blanton's barrel. I would have loved to have tried that. Old Forester, it came out of the 150th barrels. Those must have been awesome, but we're talking $40, $50, $60. When Baba Yaga's in the 20s from Ethereal. There's a Bomber from West 6, which is in the 20s. I don't know. I feel comfortable if the rest of them are all in the 20s. I can't imagine that Fusion, another local brewery, was out of that. Why spend all that on those when... Oh, and I forgot Country Boy. Country Boy actually released one that was aged in our barrels from Castle and Key. So just too much variety right now. I think that's one of the reasons why probably the lines, at least for the local craft beer people who know local craft beer, weren't as huge because you had so many different varieties to choose from. Plus, when Goose Island came out. So I don't know. I think maybe they've gotten to the point where I will always get this, But if they keep on staying in the 40 plus range, I'll stick with my local breweries. Thank you. I've yet to have a bad one. I've had some that I'm happy they tried. I'm never gonna. Yeah, the Snakes on Fire was really unique this year. I like the concept, but it's a little here too smoky for me. But I like the peppery, but the smoke was. But happy Black Friday weekend. I love this. This is 2020. I would still say it needs another. It's great fresh, or a year old. I would almost give it another couple to meld that out a little bit more. It's still very alcohol forward. Not quite as balanced. I would, maybe a little mellowing out of it. And that's what you get by putting it up the stairs. So I do have another one. I'd be curious in 2022, 2023. Give it good 2-3 years to mellow out. That's I do. Now I'm talking about Knob Creek, but I do have a Knob Creek up there that's only 2 years old, so I'll give that another year. I was hoping just to open that this year and replace it with the next, but see where that went. And, yeah. So enjoy. I guess the moral of my story is I will always get the basic Boone County, Goose Island, Bourbon County Stout. I'm going to be very much more picky on the variants they do. And if I'm going to spend my money, I'm going to spend it at the breweries I know. And they always put out quality stuff for half the price and sometimes double the beer at half the price. You do you. If you want to hunt after those, that's awesome. But don't overlook the things that the local guys are doing. I can't imagine we're the only ones that have done it this year. I know Hazy Boy, which is on Instagram, which is hilarious. You should sign up because they make fun and unfortunately are a little too honest on the beer culture, but it's a cute bit. Drink local, always buy the one that started it, but if you want to spend your money on the variant, I can think of a lot of better areas you could spend and get better bangs for your buck. We will see you guys in a few weeks. Actually, we'll see you a lot coming up forward. I got an advent calendar. Okay, it's not bluegrass. It's going to be all German beers, but we're really looking forward to it. Going to pair it with the bourbon calendar. Going to have the director with me because she's awesome and she's much better looking than me. But we will see you the 1st of December. Enjoy your beer and drink smartly and carefully and local.